Have you ever stopped to think that the vegetables you eat to protect your health might actually be slowly harming your heart? I know it sounds illogical. Since childhood, we've been taught that vegetables are the healthiest thing we can put on our plate. But after the age of centita, what once helped your body might now quietly work against it, and no one ever warned you. As a cardiologist, I've seen countless patients who do everything right. They eat their greens, cut back on sugar, ditch fried foods, walk daily, and yet they still end up with heart issues. Why? Because no one told them that certain vegetables, when eaten raw, too frequently, or combined with specific medications, can turn into a dangerous trigger. Some weaken the effect of life-saving drugs. Others spike blood pressure or cause hidden inflammation. And some just aren't digested the same way anymore. Today, I'm asking you for something important. If you're a senior or someone caring for one, please give me just a few minutes of your time. There are 5 common vegetables that could silently sabotage your heart. They're in nearly every kitchen. They look harmless. But for someone over sensitive, they can lead to real danger. Unstable blood pressure, medication failure, or even bacterial infections. The body can no longer fight. Want to know which ones? And more importantly, how to keep eating healthy without taking these hidden risks. In this video, I'll explain each one clearly, show you what to avoid, and suggest heart-safe alternatives so you can still enjoy delicious food without fear. This isn't about cutting out all vegetables. It's about being informed about what your body can handle now, not what worked decades ago. Your heart has different needs after cescenta, and it's time we respect that. The first vegetable might already be in your fridge right now, and if you're eating it regularly without realizing the risk, today's video could make a huge difference in your health. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. And if you learned something helpful, drop a uno in the comments. If not, leave a 0. Your feedback helps us improve. Now, let's get started. 1. Spinach. The superfood that might be undermining your medications. For decades, we've been told that spinach is a nutritional powerhouse. Popeye ate it to grow muscles, and many older adults proudly add it to their daily meals, thinking they're making smart choices. And in many ways, they are. Spinach truly is packed with fiber, antioxidants, and essential nutrients. But there's one problem, and it's a big one if you're taking certain heart medications. Spinach is incredibly rich in vitamin K, a nutrient vital for helping your blood clot. That's not an issue for most people. But if you're taking anticoagulant medications like warfarin, often prescribed after a stroke, heart attack, or to treat atrial fibrillation, high levels of vitamin K can actually cancel out the effect of your medication. That means you could be doing everything else right, eating well, exercising, avoiding stress, and still be at risk for dangerous clots without realizing it. I've treated many seniors who came in with confusion, chest tightness, or signs of minor strokes. They were taking their medications as prescribed, but also drinking green smoothies daily, eating large spinach salads, or loading up on leafy greens without any idea they were throwing their treatment out of balance. Danger is silent. There's no red flag, no pain to warn you. One day, your body just doesn't respond the way it should. You might brush off a headache, dizziness, or fatigue, not realizing it's your heart struggling because your medication is no longer working effectively. But here's the truth. Spinach isn't the enemy. Inconsistency is. The problem arises when your vitamin K intake is all over the place. None one day, a ton the next. Your body and your medication need stability. If you want to include spinach in your meals, you can, but you need to do it in consistent, moderate portions and inform your doctor. A healthcare provider can adjust your dosage if needed, but only if they know your real dietary habits. And be cautious with other leafy greens too, like kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, and even broccoli. All of these can have similar effects. The good news, there are plenty of heart-friendly vegetables that don't interfere with blood thinners. Think sautéed zucchini, steamed carrots, cooked bell peppers, or green beans. These options give you flavor, fiber, and nutrients without disrupting your medication. At this stage of life, your nutrition should support your treatment, not sabotage it. What helped you in your 30s or 40s may now need to be adjusted for your 60s, 70s, or beyond. So if spinach, something so universally seen as healthy, can interfere with your medication, what about other harmless veggies? The next one is crunchy, common, and hiding more sodium than you'd ever imagine. 2. Pickles, the crunchy snack loaded with hidden salt. They're crunchy, tangy, and often the perfect companion to a sandwich. For many older adults, pickles seem like a light, harmless snack, just a cucumber with a twist. But what most people don't realize is that these little green bites are soaked in one of your heart's biggest enemies, salt. And not just a little. A single pickle can contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly 2/3 of the daily limit recommended for adults over 60 in just one serving. And if you eat 2 or 3, you've surpassed your limit for the entire day before you've even touched the salt shaker. Here's what salt does inside your body. It holds on to water in your bloodstream. That extra fluid increases your blood volume, which means your heart has to pump harder to move blood through your arteries. Over time, this constant pressure can cause high blood pressure, stiff arteries, and ultimately heart failure. I've had patients who were doing everything else right. They stopped drinking alcohol, avoided fried food, walked every day, and yet their blood pressure remained stubbornly high. They were frustrated and confused. And when I asked about their diet, no one mentioned pickles. It wasn't until I dug deeper that we discovered they were eating them daily, never thinking a few slices could be the culprit. The problem is that pickles don't taste salty in the way chips or pretzels do. Their tangy flavor and crisp texture mask the high sodium content. It's salt disguised as something healthy. So, should you eliminate pickles entirely? If you have high blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney issues, yes, it's best to avoid them. But if you absolutely love them, eat them rarely and look for low-sodium versions. Even better, make your own at home using vinegar, herbs, garlic, and just a pinch of salt. That way, you control what goes in. And pickles aren't the only offenders. Canned vegetables, olives, salad dressings, commercial soups, and even some so-called healthy green juices can be packed with hidden sodium. Always check the labels. If something has more than 300 milligrams of sodium per serving, put it back. One of the biggest dangers of sodium is that it doesn't scream for attention. There's no immediate pain or obvious symptom. It builds up over weeks, months, even years, silently damaging your heart, your arteries, and your kidneys. And by the time you feel it, it's often too late. Your heart doesn't need extra pressure. It needs relief. It needs balance. And it needs food that supports its rhythm, not food that makes it work overtime. So if pickles, those innocent, crunchy snacks, can quietly overload your system with salt, what about something even more stimulating? The next vegetable may seem like nothing more than a flavorful spice, but for your heart, it could feel like running a marathon after every meal. 3. Red chili peppers. The fire that overstimulates your heart. For many people, red chili peppers aren't just food, they're emotion, identity, and tradition. In Latin America, Asia, and many parts of the world, meals feel incomplete without that extra kick of heat. A spicy salsa, a fiery curry, or just a sprinkle of crushed pepper can transform a bland dish into something unforgettable. But after age 60, what used to bring flavor and joy might now be quietly overloading your heart, and you may not even know it. The fiery sensation from chili peppers comes from a compound called capsaicin. While it adds flavor, it also stimulates your body in powerful ways. Capsaicin activates your nervous system, releases adrenaline, speeds up your heart rate, and raises your blood pressure. For younger individuals, this stimulation might feel energizing. But for older adults, especially those with heart conditions, hypertension, or arrhythmias, it can be a dangerous strain on the cardiovascular system. I've treated patients who came to my clinic reporting palpitations, pressure in their chest, anxiety, or dizziness. Often these symptoms started within an hour of eating a spicy meal. Most never considered the chili as the cause. They thought it was stress or age-related, but time and time again when we removed spicy foods, the symptoms disappeared. The bigger issue is chronic exposure. Repeated stimulation from spicy meals can lead to inflammation inside your blood vessels. Over time, this inflammation stiffens arteries, disrupts heart rhythms, and contributes to long-term cardiovascular damage. Your heart starts to work harder than necessary, and eventually, it tires out. But do you have to give up flavor forever? Absolutely not. This isn't about punishing your taste buds. It's about making smart, heart-friendly choices. Mild spices like turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, rosemary, thyme, and even garlic, cooked, not raw, can give your meals depth without putting stress on your body. And if you're someone who loves that spicy kick, there are still ways to enjoy flavor without putting your heart at risk. Try adding fresh lemon, vinegar, or low-heat peppers in small amounts. You can still enjoy heat, just in moderation and with awareness of how your body reacts. Aging changes everything. Your digestion, your circulation, and your sensitivity to food. What your body could handle at 40 might now feel overwhelming at 70. And that's not failure, that's wisdom. Listening to your body and adjusting with age is a sign of strength, not weakness. Your heart isn't asking for bland food. It's asking for balance, for meals that nourish without overstimulation, for flavors that excite without the cost of chest pain or a racing pulse. So if something as tiny as a chili pepper can cause that much stress internally, imagine what could happen with a natural remedy praised for its healing powers, but that might dangerously amplify your medications if eaten raw. Let's take a closer look at the next one. Raw garlic. 4. Raw garlic. When nature's medicine turns against your heart, garlic has long been hailed as one of nature's miracle foods. For generations, it's been used to lower cholesterol, improve blood flow, support the immune system, and even fight infections. Many older adults rely on it daily, chopping it raw into salads, blending it into smoothies, or swallowing cloves like capsules. And while garlic does offer real health benefits, consuming it raw can quietly turn this hero into a silent threat, especially if you're taking medications for your heart. The core of the issue is a compound called allicin, found in raw garlic. Allicin is a potent blood thinner, which can be helpful in moderation. But if you're already on blood-thinning medications like warfarin, clopidogrel, aspirin, or even certain herbal supplements, the combined effect can become dangerous. Too much thinning means your blood might not clot when you need it to. I treated patients who showed up with unexplained bruises, prolonged bleeding from tiny cuts, gum bleeding after brushing, frequent nosebleeds, and even blood in their urine or stool. Some needed emergency care and blood transfusions, and most were shocked to find that garlic, something they believed was completely safe, was the root of the problem. The danger doesn't stop there. Raw garlic also has a strong hypotensive effect. It lowers blood pressure. While that might sound good, when paired with prescription medication for hypertension, the result can be a dangerous drop in pressure. This leads to dizziness, blurry vision, fainting spells, fatigue, and in extreme cases, a fall or cardiac event. For people over 60, these events are more than just inconvenient, they can be life-threatening. A single fall can result in a hip fracture or traumatic brain injury. A fainting episode could signal that your brain isn't getting enough oxygen. Garlic is powerful, but that power must be respected. Does this mean you need to banish garlic from your kitchen? Not at all. Cooked garlic retains much of its flavor, but loses most of its blood-thinning strength. Use it in stews, roasted vegetables, soups, and sauces. It's delicious and safe in those forms. And always tell your doctor if you're consuming raw garlic regularly. What you eat matters, and your doctor can only protect you if they have the full picture. Never assume something natural is harmless. It's easy to be misled by popular health advice online where raw garlic is promoted as a miracle cure. But everybody is different, especially after 60. What helped you 10 or 20 years ago might no longer be safe for your current medications and condition. The secret to lasting health isn't just in adding good things, it's in making sure they don't conflict with what you already need. Balance is everything. And if raw garlic, a food praised for centuries, can quietly create chaos in your body, imagine what can happen with a raw vegetable that might be harboring dangerous bacteria without showing a single sign. Next, raw sprouts. So, 5 raw sprouts. The fresh-looking danger lurking on your plate. At first glance, raw sprouts look like one of the healthiest foods you can eat. Alfalfa, mung bean, soybean, radish, they're light, crisp, and packed with enzymes and vitamins. Many health-conscious adults, especially seniors trying to eat clean, love tossing them into salads, sandwiches, and wraps, but there's a hidden danger inside these tiny greens, and for older adults, it can be serious, even deadly. The problem with raw sprouts isn't what they contain nutritionally. It's what might be growing on them invisibly. Sprouts are grown in warm, moist environments. Unfortunately, these are the exact conditions that bacteria like E. coli, Listeria, and Salmonella thrive in. Once contaminated, there's no way to see or smell the danger. They still look fresh and clean, but they can carry bacteria capable of wreaking havoc on your health. In young people, a contaminated sprout might cause a day or two of diarrhea, but in seniors, the same bacteria can lead to dehydration, bloodstream infections, and even heart inflammation. I've treated patients who arrived at the hospital weak, feverish, disoriented, and dangerously dehydrated. When we traced the cause, a sandwich filled with raw sprouts. Older adults have weaker immune systems. That's just part of aging. Your stomach acid isn't as strong, your gut lining is more delicate, and your body takes longer to recover. What your body once fought off with ease now becomes a major challenge. One of the most dangerous consequences, endocarditis, a bacterial infection of the inner lining of your heart. It can be triggered by something as harmless as foodborne bacteria. Once it takes hold, it's difficult to treat and often requires long hospital stays, intravenous antibiotics, and sometimes even heart surgery. So what's the solution? You don't have to give up sprouts forever, but you should never eat them raw. A quick saute, steam, or even adding them to a hot soup can kill the harmful bacteria while still preserving flavor and texture. If you're craving that crunch, switch to lightly cooked greens, shredded cabbage, or fresh herbs like parsley or cilantro, washed thoroughly. Also, avoid pre-packaged, ready-to-eat sprout mixes, especially if you have diabetes, kidney disease, or take medications that suppress your immune system. These are particularly risky for those already vulnerable. Food safety matters more than ever as you age. It's not just about calories or carbs, it's about protecting your body from threats it can no longer handle like it used to. Raw sprouts are on the CDC's list of high-risk foods for seniors for a reason. You deserve food that energizes you, not food that puts your heart in danger. Make smarter swaps, stay informed, and when in doubt, cook it. And now that we've gone through the 5 vegetables that can silently harm your heart, let's talk about what you should be eating to heal and protect it. After everything we've covered, you might feel overwhelmed. You spent your life trying to eat better, adding more vegetables, skipping junk food, and now you learn that even healthy foods can backfire. But here's the truth. It's never too late to make smart changes. Your heart has been with you since the very first day, beating tirelessly, adapting to every phase of your life. Now, after millions of beats, it's asking for something simple: awareness. Not fear, not guilt, just awareness. At 60, 70, or 80 years old, your body needs different things than it did at 30. Your metabolism is slower, your organs more sensitive, and your medications more precise. What once helped you may now work against you if you're not careful. but once helped you may now work against you if you're not careful. That's why food isn't just about what's healthy, it's about what's compatible with you. Your medications, your conditions, your current physiology. Avoid raw sprouts, limit raw garlic, go easy on spicy foods, manage your sodium, and be cautious with vitamin K if you're on blood thinners. These aren't restrictions, they're strategies for longevity. And don't forget, there are still plenty of foods that nourish your heart. Cooked vegetables, lentils, fruits in moderation, whole grains, olive oil, fatty fish, nuts, and lots of water. The key isn't eating perfect, it's eating smart and steady. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're taking responsibility for your health. That's powerful. Now I invite you to share this video with someone you love. Drop a comment telling me which change you'll start with today. Your next heartbeat depends on the decisions you make now. Let's make them count. And if this helped you, comment 1. If not, comment 0 and let me know how I can do better. Like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more heart-smart content.